Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. Give me this chance to presentation my research. Today, my presentation title is Biomass Accumulation and What Use Efficiency of Faba Bean-Ryegrass Intercropping System of the solid soil amendment with binder and reduced irrigation regimes. First of all, we see the background. We know the global climate change. We fortunately agree words water scarcity used in agriculture. We can find it from this picture. The temperature equals 1.09 and another the bridge of the freshwater requires thrust agricultural produce. So the want scarcity we affects crop growth and the feathers. First, for example, the want uptick decreased. The shoots withdrawed and the leaf growth decreased. The stomach puncture decreased, photosynthesis decreased, but the root growth and the root accumulation will increase. So, in future, the water scarcity and the population and food demand will increase. So if prime agriculture wants productive is a key strategy for global food and water security. We know the stomach are simple function leaf pores that regulate the trade-off between the stomach atmosphere CO2 uptake and water use, and so representing the ultimate boundary law for regulation water streams in plant. For example, in a small scale, the water use efficiency is identified leaf and stomach can be defined as a sealed fixed amount to water transport. At a larger scale, the water use efficiency called WE can be measured as yield relative to water consumed. So we can change the stomach atmosphere and select the high watt use efficient group to increase WE. So increase group water use efficiency to mitigate abiotic stress or group production. We know how we develop efficient by water saving technology. It means PRD. It's part route zero direction. We can find in the PRD irrigation, the plants are wanted or interseamed, so each half of the root system alignment between water and root. And the figure we can find the PRD often results in recurrent harvest, even if the leaf size is small. Below, some research find why PRD can increase group WE. The first, the PRD induced ABA single, and then improve root growth. For example, increase root disc and deseed. Another signed ABA can decrease stomach descent and aperture, and another improve potency, so improve water use efficiency. Another sign the PRD can improve the nitrogen nutrition, optimize the carbon nitrogen distribution. Uh, so the well want plant with open stomach and high transparency root. The dried the dry sand exposes part of the root system to dry condition, reduce stomach punch and want to use without reducing detrimental root stress effect. So the irrigant sand and PRD maintain the water and the nutrient requirement of plant growth, and the dry sand produce ABA singles to induce peristaltic growth, thereby saving water and improving plant quality. Later, we hope to improve soil quality below with the not use the change not use punch increase pressure for agricultural production. We can find the soil fertilizer degradation severely, so limited agricultural production, such as salinization, hardened, a sound function designed organic matter, reduced nitrogen availability. So the healthy soil is very important for crop growth and the agriculture production. Binder willow is a very friendly soil amendment. We can find the binder can improve soil properties such as physical, chemical, and biological. But the improvement the department of bioproperties and composition and internal soil properties. With a bunch of application to soil, we can find a bunch of can increase water hold capacity and improve root growth, nitrogen uptake, water uptake, and then by improve group biomass, leaf, air, and plant water relation. But we don't know the bunch how to improve water user efficiency. So the ideal bunch soil group match is the scientific ground for the effective use of bunker in agricultural production. So we have some problem to deal with. The first, find buncher and the buncher amendment and the periodic irrigation call application if improve soil want stews and then improve plant water relation, thereby improve water use efficiency. First sector, the buncher and PRD call application if improve stomach morphological and stomach conductance, thereby improve want use efficiency. And another buncher and PRD call application if improve root morphological and soil pH, soil nitrogen availability, thereby improve growth, group growth, biomass, and user efficiency. Another problem if the PRD co-application buncher can improve the nitrogen uptake and utilization. As different response for group and varied soil type, biotype at group. So we set up a research to investigate if bunch and PRD can improve group 1 and nitrogen utilizing a Faba bean and regress intergroup system. This is the experiment setup. We used two bunch type. Another bunch type is 540 estimate, and another bunch is high temperature. And we also set up bunch and regress intersystem and three irrigation treatment. One is full irrigation, another is deficient irrigation, and part root zone dry irrigation is our experiment figures. It's very interesting, right? The result is very interesting. We can find the buncher. We can find the irrigation, the deficient irrigation, and high temperature buncher application decreased the fiber bean biomass, but increased the regress biomass. But in the system we can find batch and PRD increase the system won't use efficiency. We can find that from the PAC analysis. We can find the high temperature batcher increase the regress DM. So this is our results. We can find the high temperature batcher increase the soil water content capacity, thereby increase the fiber bean leaf water potential, leaf hydraulic conductance, and also improve the above ground biomass of regress, but the buncher decreased the above ground biomass and seed yet of fiber bean. But the buncher and the DR and the PRD irrigation increase the regress biomass, but decrease the seed yet above ground biomass and plant water relationship over fiber bean. But for the system, we can find the PRD increase the system won't use efficiency, but the high temperature binder is CRPC decrease WE. So we can find the clean resource binder improve soil water hold capacity, leaf out potential, and the hydraulic conductance of intergroup fiber bean. And CRBC and reduced irrigation increase the biomass of regress. But they wrote that of fiber bean and well intergroup and part root zone the direct irrigation improve WE of the intergroup system. counteracting the negative effect of biology. So it is the root morphology. We can find the figure A is soil and root glamour, and the figure B, the leaf is a rigorous root system, and the branch is Faba bean root system. We can find the rigorous root systems very bigger than the Faba beans. So it is why the Faba bean has no WE. We can we can find some conclusion. First, the PRD can include enhancing group WE by regulating group growth and physiological. The two, bunch can promote group growth by improving soil plant properties, but the pounds of soil bunch and group much. 3. The co-application of PRD and the buncher can synergistically improve group yield and want use efficiency. 4. The intergroup system can complex the effects of bunch and group want user efficiency. That's all is my presentation. Thank you for your attention. Thank you. That's all.